Hey everybody, today I have a team build for all of you. This is sort of my go-to default Tyrant Christian team build that I run. There's anything really special or super creative about it, I think. It's just a very powerful build that I think has very strong results and some pretty good synergy. It has a good mix of buffing and debuffing and some good damage output just all around, and makes it really easy to sort of feed kills to my main damage dealer. So it's pretty easy to pull off some easy wins. To lead off this team, I run Galahad, my defender. He doubles as both my tank when I need him to tank, but also he provides good buffing support through his ability of Divine Favor. I don't have much in the way of essences on him, just because I haven't really been hitting a lot of the challenges on this run, but I've barely noticed, honestly. Galahad is just so good that you don't even really notice. Gear-wise on him, it's just a bunch of random relic gear I've gotten, but then I do use the Soul Merchant Oathstone. You can see here, he does 100 damage to adjacent enemies at the start of his turn, reflects 10 back, always faces the attacker, 5% block. This is just an insanely good item. Other than that, I have Hexmark of Impunity, which is just another turn to face the enemy, but it ignores 50% of armor breaking value, so his armor is super good, and he gets a little damage buff off of it. For his weapon, just stacking even more block with the 10% from this, and he regains just armor even more easily. If I choose to rest, he gets a bunch. He has physical debuff resist, and he gets them at the start of the encounter. And Stone of Distraction, this is a good combo for his taunt ability. That way, when enemies do attack him in melee, it costs 1 extra AP, so they may only get 1 attack off at him instead of the standard 2. Plus, he gets a little bit of dodge, and the vitality is whatever. My next party member is the Black Knight. He is my main damage dealer. He's my favorite main damage dealer hero in the game, and he has a pretty just standard layout. I've managed to actually get the exact build gear-wise that I first put out a video for him for, so if you've seen that video, you'll know exactly what I'm running, and you can get some more in-depth details on it. But Juggernaut's Seal to get rid of the ability to be stunned. Sign of Epona is just an insanely strong weapon. It has damage stacking, movement AP on kills, plus just a base AP. The Earthsmith Ring is always a very powerful item for any character. And the Horn of the Giant Slayer, just very useful because it's extra damage against Fomorians and more AP. And having AP is probably one of the best things you can get for your champion. Getting into my backline, though, I'm running Lady Morgoth. She's just an absolute powerhouse of a debuffer. She does so much to just keep the enemies as diminished as possible. For her essences, I gave her Essence of Willpower to increase her mental debuff resist, so you can see now both of her debuff resistances are insanely high, so the odds of her ever being inconvenienced is essentially none. I gave her this for Lost Slayer. It was kind of empty. I probably could have put something better here, but, whatever. Essence of Constitution for the physical debuff, and Essence of Warding, less spell damage. Gear-wise, nothing super crazy. Sign of Alanos, plus 1 AP, which is useful. She does a lot of spell casting. And plus 2 AP for the first turn, which is a big one. I pretty much always cast a bunch of stuff on her first turn. Ankle Biter. Killing a unit with a lightning skill causes the enemy closest to the killed unit to suffer 100% of the weapon damage, so it's a decent way to spread her damage around if you get kills with, chain lightning. And it has that good, Spellblade ability that I like to call it, where the more spells you cast, the harder hitting the next melee will be. She's going to be casting spells every turn. I have another Soul Merchant item on her. This is plus 25% to obtain Spire Shards. This just makes Spire effects stronger. The way this is worded is a little misleading, but also gives her immunity to stun and knockdown, so she's just a bulwark against status effects. And then I got the Lost Scrolls of Kaleech. This is an amazing item. It chills enemies adjacent to her, minus 1 cooldown for ice skills, plus 1 cooldown for support skills. She doesn't have support skills, so lots of great stuff going on here. Just makes it that much easier for her to combo her own debuffing. My last backliner is Sir Ector, and he's the only Arcanist you can generally run for Tyrant Christian. You can do a little shenanigans with Merlin, but Hector is by far the easier option to use. And I got lucky with him, and he's got some really good gear, so he is both a great damage dealer, like he could be my primary damage dealer if I wanted, but he also provides the good support through things like hexes. So for the essences, +1 for range, +1 for AP, the stuff I always put on my Arcanist, extra burning damage because he is a fire mage, and I give him Essence of Resilience. This was an early game pick. Arcanists don't have a lot of injury tokens, so it helps as you're going through the main game. Gear-wise, I found the Moonlight Halo, so he's also immune to stuns and has +1 AP. The more AP you have, the better. And dodging Opportunity Attack is useful if he needs to reposition. Firebrand Rune, it's a level 15 one, but super good. If you want details on this, I also have a video for this exact build. This staff just boosts up his burning damage, which combos great with the item I'll get to in a second, and it just provides a flat damage boost to his Fire Blast. Astral Jewel, just extra range, extra damage if he's far away from enemies. And then the Immolated One's Lament. This is similar to the Summer Staff. It has the same wild magic effect where they just take a bunch of burning damage after you cast 8 spells, all in one lump sum for, 400 damage or more in some cases. So this is actually a very high damage team comp with a very good synergy of debuffing and buffing all wrapped into one. It covers a lot of the categories that you want to bring to a strong party, and I think it does them well. If you're curious about the skills and stuff, you can go ahead and just pause and see what I've picked. I've done build videos for all of these characters before, so if you're curious about why I use certain ones, you can go ahead and check those out. That's enough monologuing though, so let's just jump into a mission and we can see the team in action. So I've chosen the Lord of Plenty mission. It's a level 25 Fomorian mission, and there's lots of, sort of close quarters, so it definitely puts a little bit of a pressure on my team, so I won't really get to fully use a lot of my range advantage here, but you'll see that my team has such powerful just support through debuffing and buffing that it still will not even matter. So, I mean, with Morgoth there, the entire team is shocked up, so their AP is, debuffed a fair bit. We'll do Ice Shield. Let's go ahead and move her up here because now we're going to taunt, guard, and because that item I have where they get chilled, so now this enemy will become shocked and chilled as he moves in to attack a Galahad. You're not taunted, so we'll slow you. Drop a nice Fire Blast here. Let's do Blood Hex. Then Death Hex. Actually going to move him back one. And one more spell will trigger the burn effect. They have 2 spellcasters, so they'll trigger it on themselves, and this guy's going to drop to like 150 health or something, probably, at least. But that, yeah, we're just going to pass with Black Knight the first turn, and that looks good. Yep, there you go. He dropped down to like 20, but then Death Hex wore off, so he jumped back up to 221. I managed to catch that. Him summoning the worms really messed him up. Okay, so let's go ahead and move Black Knight over. We have a lot of movement AP to work with. We can just leap attack. Before we leap attack, though, let's just throw another Blood Hex here. Throw a Fire Blast here. Excellent. That was a little bit out of order. I should have used Divine Favor first for that damage buff. Definitely would have been able to secure a kill there. Alright, move up to here. We can take the opportunity attack, that's fine. Okay, I do have one more space. Let's go ahead and shoot an Earth Ball over here. Let's just get the free swing. Let's go ahead and slow Death Hex. Let's put a Blood Hex over here. We're just going to move Morgoth up. Freeze him. Put a stun on that. Then we can pick up this soul. Nice, power attack gets the kill. Move on over here, get that kill. Let's just Earthshaker. Then we can Earth Ball. Let's pick up some of these souls. And we'll just pass with everyone else. Didn't quite kill him in 2 turns, but nearly. It summons 2 Slaughterers, that's nothing. Alright, pick that up. We send Black Knight to mop them up with a nice leap attack. Then a cleave. Grab this. Grab this. Then we'll just start moving Black Knight over that direction. Mosey our way on over, and boom, kill. We come out of all of that with only 12 missing health on Ector, 3 missing armor on Galahad, and 7 HP. Very minimal. This next fight is the Spire fight, so it's basically one of the toughest in this entire mission. There is the sort of boss at the end, though I think this one is a little bit trickier. We start off completely surrounded, bunch of guys, we're blocked in by these bone walls, that's not a big deal. But first thing we're going to do, swap over to Morgos. We're going to drop a Thunderstorm. Immediately put Shock on a bunch of enemies. Then Chain Lightning. Shock 3 more enemies. Let's even put a stun on you. And then Ice Shield. For Ector, just put a Fire Blast there. We immediately got the proc, that's why I checked. So, immediately that's like 300 damage to each of them. Just gonna spread some hexes around. Taunt and guard. Alright. Bunch of worms got summoned. First things first, it's Divine Favor. Let's not forget about that this time. We can let's go ahead and Death Hex this beast, man. We're probably gonna kill him this turn. Fire Blast there, got another proc, 320 on each of them. Love to see it. Alright, now let's see, what are we doing with Black Knights? A little hard to see with all this clutter in there, but it looks like we're gonna open with an Earth Ball. Okay, wasn't enough to quite kill that guy, but that's fine, because we can cleave. Move to here, break the bone wall, get the free swing on the 2 worms. Next, we can Earth Ball again. Break the wall, get the free swing. Just need a little bit more damage on this guy over here. So let's swap over to Galahad. We can use Cleansing Fire. That did nothing. Okay, well, we can Earth Ball over here. Now we can Leap Attack, kill him. Let's take care of this Spire. Much easier to see things now. see, what are we doing with Morgos? She can break her way out of here. Stun, just move up. Have Hector start moving over to pick up some of these souls, I guess. Nice double kill there. I don't really care much about the souls. Let's just go ahead and wrap up the fight. And Galahad came out of that fight healthier than he went into it. Hector's pretty much the same. The synergy between Morgos and Hector makes a huge difference for being able to trigger his wildfire much more frequently. Works great. So there you go. That's my preferred Tyrant Christian team in action. And I know Tyrant Christian kind of gets a bad rap. It seems to be by far the least popular alignment. I did a poll on Reddit actually about 3 weeks ago, just asking what everyone's favorite alignment was, or what was the alignment they have played if they've only done one playthrough. And in first with like 60 was Rightful Old Faith, I think. And in last was Tyrant Christian with 10. The one above it had like 30 almost, I think. It was a huge gap. And I mean, to be fair, I can kind of see why. The options for characters definitely seems a lot more limited. But as you can see here, the alignment works just fine if you pick the right characters to synergize within your team comp. You will by no means be like struggling to beat the game compared to, you know, some of the other alignments, especially in the end game. I mean, end game is really a great equalizer. That's where you start getting access to a lot of the just insanely strong OP kind of stuff. And you saw it here, it works great. I mean, you get access to 3 of the best characters in the game, in my opinion. I mean, if you've seen my tier list video, you'll know there's 3 S tiers on this team. So, with the right gear too for Hector, he becomes absolutely phenomenal as a damage dealer on top of all of that. That is a bit more RNG, I understand, but he's still an Arcanist. Even if he didn't have the Burning One's Lament, whatever it's called, he'd still be putting up plenty fine support with things like Death Hex and Slow and things like that. So, still a strong contributor, all things considered. I hope this was interesting or useful, maybe helped show off what this alignment can be capable of, and maybe helped lift some of the bad rep it may have amongst the player base. If you were one of those players and this maybe did change your mind on the alignment a little bit, you know, go ahead and let me know in the comments. I'd like to, you know, hear from you. Or if, you know, you still think the alignment's crap, then, you know, feel free to let me know that in the comments too. As always, thanks for watching.